Today is my birthday. Tonight, you're mine, right? Everyone was having a meal together when my fiancée Haven suddenly said this. Her tone was quite normal. As if she was talking about something unimportant. The only abnormal thing was that she said it in Italian. Get cleaned up and wait for me. My fiancé replied in the same calm tone. My chopsticks dropped to the ground. I looked up blankly and asked my fiancé, what were you two just talking about? Why can't I understand a single word? It wasn't that I couldn't understand Italian. But rather I couldn't understand the specific meaning behind their words. Was it what I thought it meant? Sophia, we were just speaking our local dialect. It's normal that you don't understand. Luna was just asking me if there would be a second round of celebration tonight for your birthday. She wants to sing with us all night long. As Daniel spoke, he rubbed my head. His eyes were filled with tender love. Sophia, do you want to go singing? You haven't been feeling well these 2 days. Staying up late isn't good for your health. I was on my period these 2 days. Every time I'm on my period, Daniel always remembers. He even makes brown sugar water and ginger tea for me. He's always worried that I might catch a cold and suffer from dysmenorrhea. Such a person. I thought he had always been as loyal to me as he claimed. Daniel, I've already booked the hotel. You're not going to back out just because Sophia is on her period. Are you? Today is my birthday, and you can only be mine. Luna continued to say this lie in Italian. You once said that no matter who you marry, I'll always be your most important best friend in this life. You haven't forgotten. Have you? My hands and feet suddenly turned cold, and all the blood in my body seemed to freeze instantly. Is this how a best friend is defined? They didn't have any intimate gestures in front of me before. I thought they were really just good friends. I'd better not go, I said, pushing Daniel's hand away. I'm not feeling well, so I'll go back and rest first. Daniel sent me home, made brown sugar water, watched me drink it, covered me with the quilt, and then left in a hurry. During this process, his phone rang non-stop. As soon as Daniel left, I called my male best friend. Come and sleep with me, and bring your boyfriend. Good heavens, Sophia, are you not feverish? You want the 2 of us to sleep with you? Good heavens. Are you coming or not? If you're a good friend, come and warm my bed right now. James arrived at my house half an hour later. He brought his boyfriend Henry, who was as cute as a puppy. I told him what happened today. He's really a scumbag. I've never heard of a female friend booking a hotel with someone's fiancé before. James took off his clothes and lay down between me and his boyfriend. Previously, he, a girl, and I were like 3 sisters. Now that girl has gone abroad. So now I can only rely on him to help me deal with my negative emotions. Fortunately, his boyfriend is very cute and nice. The next day, when Daniel came back, he saw me, James, and Henry lying on the same bed. Sophia, what are you guys doing? There seemed to be 1,000 grievances in his eyes. And the corners of his eyes were red. How could you guys sleep on the same bed behind my back? James gave him a disdainful look, got up from the bed, put on his clothes, and went to the bathroom. Honchi put on his clothes and stood aside, seemingly worried that I would be bullied by Daniel. I stretched and asked him in Italian, did you sleep well in the hotel last night? A variety of emotions flashed across his face. And finally he asked, you can speak Italian? Our Sophia is proficient in 16 languages. James poked his head out of the bathroom, wearing a mischievous smile that made people want to punch him. If it weren't for the fact that most of Daniel's company's business depended on James' family, I suspected that James would be a corpse by now. At this moment, there was a fierce look in Daniel's eyes, as if he wanted to tear James into pieces. You slept in a hotel with your female friend, and I slept at home with my male best friend. It's quite fair. I tilted my head and looked at him with a smile. His face turned as red as a liver. That's not fair. Yesterday was Luna's birthday. We've slept in the same bed since we were kids. And we didn't do anything else. I was on my period yesterday. My hands and feet were cold and I needed someone to warm me up. James and I have also slept in the same bed since we were kids, and we didn't do anything else. I threw his words back at him. That's not okay. You're a woman, and your reputation is very important. He tried hard to argue, with veins bulging on his forehead. So you mean your female friend's reputation isn't important? It's really pitiful to be your female friend. Does she know you don't care about her reputation like this? James swaggered out of the bedroom. As he left a sentence, next time your man is with another woman, remember to call us. Male best friend should step up without hesitation. Daniel slapped the door. Don't go too far. I just smiled. If it weren't for the fact that there was still business at home related to him that hadn't been sorted out, I wouldn't have bothered to talk to him. Daniel behaved himself for a few days. Until during our meeting, his phone kept ringing. I knew that ringtone well. It was from his female friend Luna. Daniel, I got into a car accident. Can you come and take me to the hospital? Then there came the sound of a woman crying, as if she was about to die. Daniel looked at me. It's a matter of life and death. We grew up together as good friends. I curled my lips. Go ahead. When Daniel left the office, I said to everyone, your boss is busy taking care of his female friend today and has no time to work. Since that's the case, everyone has a 1-month vacation. Everyone looked at each other in bewilderment. It was not until they saw me picking up my bag and leaving the company that they confirmed I was serious about the vacation. I called my brother and asked him to cut off relations with Daniel's family as soon as possible. I didn't want this arranged marriage anymore. My brother asked me to give him a month. In a month, he would pull out all the projects. I knew this was the fastest he could manage, and he would suffer a lot of losses because of it. Subsequently, I called James. Where are you? I'm skiing in Switzerland with my boyfriend. I cursed in my heart. He already had a boyfriend, but I didn't. I bought a plane ticket and headed straight for Switzerland. When James and his boyfriend saw me, they were stunned. They thought I was joking. I'm here to join you. With me around, you can show your love openly on moments. The two of them were amused by what I said. James is the heir of the James family. His family would definitely not accept his love for a man. So he hasn't had the chance to post photos of the two of them openly on moments. Because of my joining, James posted a lot of moments. To make it less obvious, there was always me in the photos where they were together. Sometimes I grabbed his face, sometimes I pulled his hair. Sometimes I just hugged both of them. People who didn't know would think from our photos that I was a heartless woman in a relationship with two men. A week later, a tall man appeared in Switzerland. He packed the three of us into Lucas's private plane. I blinked innocently at James. What's going on? James winked at me. I didn't understand at all. Looking at that man again, the imposing manner on him made me, an old hand in the workplace for many years, feel a sense of awe. Could this person be the head of the Lucas family? Henry's older brother Lucas? That shouldn't be right. According to James, this guy doesn't care about them at all. Henry is just a nobody in the Lucas family. When we arrived in Kyoto and just got off the plane, Daniel appeared in front of us. Sophia, why did you run off without saying a word? I blinked. I told everyone. I gave a 1-month vacation. Daniel thanked Lucas. Thank you, Lucas, for bringing my fiancé back. My mind went blank. When did Daniel get to know Lucas? Lucas nodded and left with James and Henry. You're not angry just because I went to take care of Luna, are you? I told you, it was a matter of life and death. His voice was full of anger. You're out having fun with other men like this. I've lost all my face. On his phone was a photo of me hugging James and Henry. We looked extremely intimate. I looked at the photo with satisfaction. The photo was taken well. I'll ask James to send it to me later and I'll print it out and stick it in the office. Sophia. Daniel grabbed my wrist. Did you hear what I said? What you're doing makes me lose all my face. Where should I put my face? I'm also a matter of life and death. If I don't go out and have fun, I'll go crazy. That's also a matter of life and death. My life is just as important, quibbling. He gritted his teeth in hatred, but unfortunately, I'm not afraid of anything. Where should I put my face when you're with another woman? I asked him casually. She's my female friend. How can you call her another woman? We grew up together like brothers. Why are you being so unreasonable? He shouted loudly. His face flushed. As he spoke, he dragged me forward. My whole body was being pulled along by him, and I shouted loudly, he's my male best friend. What do you mean by another person? We grew up wearing the same skirt. You're being so unreasonable. Ever since I found out he's not a good person, my main goal now is to piss him off so that he has no mood to work. This way, my brother can smoothly pull out the projects. Seeing him so angry that he looks like he wants to hit someone, I feel so happy. We arrived at the parking lot. Luna was sitting in the passenger seat. She smiled and greeted me. Sophia, I get carsick. You don't mind if I sit in the front, do you? What could I mind? In case of a car accident, you'll be the first to die in this seat. If you die for me, I should thank you. I got into the back row, muttering to myself, and sat in the middle. As if I was really afraid of getting hit in case of an accident. Luna's face turned pale when she heard my words, and she looked at Daniel helplessly. Sophia, have I been too lenient with you? Since that's the case, you should reflect on your behavior at home recently and stop working for a while. I rolled my eyes in my heart. I used to go to the company to help him because I thought I was going to marry him. Now that I'm not going to marry him, who cares about going to work there? Isn't it better for me to go back to my family's company? As soon as my brother tells me everything is settled, I'll dump him immediately. Luna turned her head and looked at me triumphantly. I stretched out two fingers and made a gesture of digging out eyes, which scared her into crying out. Weakling. Daniel was holding the steering wheel with one hand and soothing her with the other, saying not to be afraid, that he drives very steadily. I posted all the photos Jane sent me on Moments, and captioned, "Male best friends are the best. They accompany you to sleep and play. They're a must-have at home." Then Luna's voice was heard again in the quiet car. Sophia, how could you do this? Her voice was tinged with sobs, and Daniel immediately hit the brakes. A car passing by behind us shouted, "SB." I gave him a thumbs up. He really is an SB. Suddenly braking in the middle of the road. If there was a big truck following behind, we'd be dead. After being scolded, Daniel realized his behavior was inappropriate. He pulled the car over to the side and asked softly, "Luna, what's wrong? Haven't you recovered from the post-traumatic stress disorder from the last car accident?" As he spoke, his hand went to Luna's head. His eyes were gentle, as if he was looking at a treasure. I quickly took a photo and posted it on Moments with the caption, "V. comforting female friend." I seem a bit redundant. Urgently waiting for car rescue. I also attached the location when I posted. Luna glanced at me, as if she wanted to say something but stopped. Speak. Don't worry about her. Does Sophia sleep with her male best friend? Her voice was very soft, gentle, and weak, full of uncertainty. In the enclosed car, her voice clearly reached Daniel's ears. Daniel's face immediately darkened. And then he silently drove the car without saying a word. Luna was unwilling to see that Daniel didn't respond, but in the end, she could only remain silent. Daniel dropped me off at home first and then said he was going to take Luna. This kind of thing happened often in the past. He said she was his childhood friend, and it was only right to take care of her. But tonight, Luna's provocation didn't succeed. Judging from the way she looked at me in the end, she obviously wanted to cause more trouble. I called James. I asked him to find someone to follow the two of them. If necessary, I want to discuss them. They used to use the pretext of being friends as a cover. Now that I've confirmed their improper relationship, how can I let them have their way? James acted faster than ever. Messages from him kept coming to my phone. They went to a bar to drink. They hugged in the bar. They kissed in the bar. There was also a video attached later. In the video, I could tell that Daniel was drunk and unconscious, while Luna seemed quite sober. This woman is interesting. Usually, mistresses would secretly show off in front of the legitimate partner, sending something to stimulate her. But she has never sent anything. Nor has she posted any strange things on Moments. If I didn't know Italian, I don't know when I would have found out about their affair. In less than an hour, James sent a video of them going to a hotel room. In order to get the first-hand photos, I immediately got out of bed. I asked James to come and pick me up. When I got downstairs and got into the car, I found out that it was Lucas who came to pick me up. Where to? His voice was flat, showing no emotion. I opened the car door and was about to get out. I won't trouble you, Lucas. I can go by myself. My foot was already out. But the door couldn't be opened. James is taking care of my brother. He has a fever. Me? It's okay. I can go by myself. He said he's afraid you'll cry. I seriously suspect that James is deliberately setting me up. I haven't cried since I left kindergarten. I told him the hotel address. I bought a few packs of condoms at a small store near the hotel. Lucas watched my actions indifferently. When we entered the hotel, I went straight to Daniel and Luna's room. When I got to the door, I remembered the main reason I asked James for help. He's the son of the hotel owner, and his role was to open the door. Just as I was thinking about whether to kick the door or not, a pair of hands with distinct knuckles swiped the room card. Immediately, the sound indicating the door was open was heard. I looked at Lucas in shock. He calmly handed me the card. James gave it to me, said it would be useful. As soon as the door opened, the sounds inside came out. I was immediately attracted by the sounds. I took the card from Lucas and slipped into the suite. The two of them were already kissing passionately. They were impatiently about to move to the next step. I quickly took a few photos, calmly put away my phone, and then calmly interrupted them. Wait a minute. My voice interrupted the two of them. Luna looked at me as if she had seen a ghost, but her hands didn't stop. Then a strange smile appeared on her lips. Daniel, however, suddenly sobered up and pushed Luna away. Sophia, why are you here? He rubbed his head, trying to force himself to wake up. I threw the condoms onto the bed. On the white bed, there were colorful packaging boxes scattered around. I'm here to give you something. How could good brothers get pregnant? After saying that, I pulled Lucas and left the hotel. You gave them this for your fiancé. Lucas was obviously shocked by my actions. This was the first time I saw an expression on his poker-faced countenance since I met him. Yeah. I took pictures as evidence. When the time came to break off the engagement, let's see how he could still argue. Without a doubt, in order to prevent the photos from spreading, his parents would give my family some compensation. Giving these condoms was a good deal. In the end, Daniel didn't come out. Maybe he decided to give up completely. Or perhaps Luna was very skillful. Either way, it had nothing to do with me. James even had someone take pictures of the used condoms by the two of them. Several boxes were used up. I heard that men usually don't perform well their first time. It seems these two have been together for quite a while. Thinking of this, I couldn't help but vomit. Thank goodness my mom told me to preserve myself. She said that although it's not ancient times, I should give my first time to a man who is worthy. Daniel and I had a relationship due to an arranged marriage. We got engaged first and then started dating. He had always been very considerate. I thought I had found true love. But now it seems he's just a rotten cucumber. It's really hard on my brother. In order for me to have a good life in Daniel's family in the future, he gave several projects to Daniel's family. Now getting out of this situation will surely cause huge losses. The next day, Daniel came home early in the morning. He blocked me at the door. Sophia, I can explain what happened last night. Explain what? Explain why you used so many condoms. Or explain how many times you slept together. A trace of guilt flashed across his face, but it was only for a moment. And then he returned to normal. I was drunk last night. It's not what you think. He tried to hold my hand, but I shook it off. Don't tell me you didn't use condoms. Do you know why I had to buy condoms for you two in person yesterday? Because I marked each box so that you couldn't fool me like a fool. I sent the photos to him. This villa was bought with both of our money. Find a time to sell it. After saying this, I was about to leave. This time, regardless of my will, he hugged me tightly. We're just friends and won't get married. Didn't you also sleep with your male best friend? I've forgiven you. Why do you keep holding on to this mistake? It's not good for either family if we separate. You may not be able to find someone who loves you as much as I do in your next arranged marriage. I bit his arm hard. Although there was a suit in between, I was sure I bit his flesh. He let out a muffled groan but didn't let me go. It was really disgusting. I took a deep breath and hit the back of my head hard against his nose. Then I felt a stream of warm liquid drip onto my neck. He let me go, covered his nose and squatted down. What on earth are you doing? Luna won't affect your status. You're my legitimate wife. She's just my female friend. We've been playing like this since we were kids. We don't see each other as having different genders. Hearing this, I was really disgusted. What did he mean by not seeing each other as having different genders? Could two people who don't feel the difference in gender use dozens of condoms in one night? Why didn't he go find a man? I wiped the blood on my neck with a tissue and left the villa without looking back. I originally planned to wait until my brother had everything settled before leaving. But now I couldn't stay here for even a moment longer. Damn it. This is the first time I've heard such disgusting words. Not seeing each other as having different genders is an excuse to sleep together. I asked James to investigate Luna. This woman is not normal. In the afternoon, I was waiting for James in a private room of a private restaurant with good privacy. But it was Lucas who came in. Oh my God. Isn't this guy very busy? He didn't even have time to care that his brother has a boyfriend. Why is he so free recently? Lucas. I looked behind him. There was no sign of James or Henry. They went out to play. I silently cursed James in my heart. He's a guy who values his boyfriend over his friend. In the past, I could always count on him. And he would come whenever I called. I picked up my phone to ask James. Then a stack of photos appeared in front of me. What you wanted? I flipped through the photos. Luna had quite a few female friends. She was already married. The wedding date was exactly one day before Daniel agreed to get engaged to me. Luna's husband was no worse than Daniel. He was an excellent person in all aspects. But he was busy with work and had no time to accompany her. She had a condition called sex addiction. Her husband had a crush on my younger brother before. Lucas gracefully picked up food with chopsticks while calmly telling me this fact. Even if her husband likes women, he doesn't have the time to satisfy her. Hearing Lucas' words, my scalp tingled. Was this the kind of conversation appropriate for our relationship? Your fiancé is a relatively good solution for her. Before, she still cared about her husband. After learning that her husband loved men, she had some thoughts about your fiancé other than just using him as a solution. I buried my head in eating. Your fiancé doesn't know Luna is married. He still spoke very calmly. Doesn't her husband care about her? Her husband's business is abroad. Domestic news doesn't affect his interests. He needs a legitimate wife. His plain tone set off a storm in my heart. Calculating it, I'm not the most miserable one. Daniel is the most miserable. He seems to be nothing from beginning to end. But if he had been more self-respecting, this kind of thing wouldn't have happened to him. So he deserves it. My brother told me in advance that I could break off the engagement. I knew he must have suffered a lot of losses. I didn't want my parents to worry. My brother and I went to Daniel's house alone to talk about breaking off the engagement. Daniel's parents were very surprised when they saw us come for this. They immediately called my parents who were abroad. Sophia, Do you really want to break off the engagement? Mom never expected that I would want to break off the engagement. The last time we had a video call, I was still very satisfied with this fiend. He slept with another woman. There might even be a bastard child. When Mom heard my words, she immediately got angry. This engagement must be broken. I threw the photos of Daniel and Luna on the table. If you don't want me to spread these photos, compensate my brother with 5 of the shares of Daniel's family. When Daniel came back, various emotions such as surprise, shock, and disappointment flashed across his face. I didn't have anything with Luna. I pointed to the photos on the table. Why don't you take a look first before arguing? He glanced at the photos on the table and then slumped down on the sofa. Where did you get these? Of course, they were given by Lucas. But I only showed the photos of Luna and Daniel. I held back the others. I wouldn't tell him that Luna was married. I wouldn't tell him that if it weren't for the fact that Luna's husband liked men. Luna wouldn't have given him even a little bit of love. Daniel's parents saw their son's reaction and sighed. Then give out 5 of the shares. Let this matter end here. If any rumors spread outside, that definitely won't be our doing. I interrupted Daniel's father. These aren't given to us out of kindness, but as compensation for my brother's losses in the past 2 years. I saw Luna again 1 month after the engagement was broken off. I had just come out of my family's company building when she stopped me. I had no choice but to find a seat by the window in a coffee shop near the company. Why did you break off the engagement with him? Daniel is quite outstanding. Although she claimed to be Daniel's female friend, Luna had always been a dignified and elegant woman. She always liked to wear a engsub, looking gentle and refined. If I hadn't heard it with my own ears, I would never have believed that she was the kind of person who would seduce a man into bed. Is that what you're asking? I stirred my coffee with a spoon. Are you perhaps planning to divorce and marry Daniel? With a clatter, the spoon in her hand fell into the coffee cup. As if I didn't notice her abnormality, I continued, I don't like picking up trash. If you don't mess with me, I'll act as if nothing happened. Luna had never provoked me privately. So in this game, I didn't have a deep-seated hatred for her. The reason I didn't tell Daniel wasn't because I was so kind-hearted. Rather, I wanted to know how he would feel when he suddenly discovered one day that the wonderful female friend in his heart was completely different from what he thought. This secret would only be interesting if he uncovered it himself. Luna and Daniel got married. She and her husband got married abroad, and in China, her household register still showed her as unmarried. Our family and Daniel's family were family friends for generations. We had to attend Daniel's wedding. My parents still didn't come back to the country. Such a person wasn't worth their special trip. I entered the venue arm in arm with my brother. Daniel had a happy smile on his face. It could be seen that his smile was much more sincere than when he was engaged to me. Throughout the entire wedding process, his eyes never left Luna's face. Daniel's parents were also quite happy. I heard that Luna brought a dowry of over 100 million. You seem a bit disappointed? While I was in a daze, I heard a familiar voice. It was Lucas. A little bit. I actually let him get married so happily. I somehow really wanted to do something bad. He won't be happy for a few days. After saying this, Lucas went to his table. James trotted over. Sophia, are you okay? Henry said his brother has been acting strange recently. Stay away from him. I nodded. I had never gotten close to Lucas in the first place, so there was no question of staying away. What Lucas said about a few days really wasn't long. On the 3rd day after Daniel got married, a video of Luna having a hotel room with someone else appeared in the rich second-generation group. At this time, Daniel was abroad on business. The group was bustling. I looked at the people in the video. It was one of Luna's friends, who could also be considered Daniel's friend. People in the group were saying whether Daniel would be so angry that he would die if he saw this. I took out the chat records Daniel had with me before and those people. In the chat records, I questioned him about having a hotel room with Luna. He said he was just doing something with a friend, and that people with a dirty mind see everything as dirty. I reminded the people in the group that Daniel's heart wasn't that dirty, and he would believe Luna. The group was quiet for a while. And then someone started spamming 666 start us at it. After countless 666 messages floated by in the group, Daniel finally showed up in the group. I believe Luna. She just went to the hotel to play games. If he hadn't explained, I might have believed that he didn't suspect Luna. But this explanation seemed like a confession. Daniel came back from abroad ahead of schedule, and the business wasn't finalized. My brother took the opportunity to snatch the clients. By the time he sorted things out with Luna and went abroad again, the client had already signed contracts with my brother. What he didn't expect was that, as soon as he went abroad, Luna was exposed for having a hotel room with another friend. Seeing this, I thought of what Lucas said. Could it be Lucas who did this? Otherwise, how could she be caught on camera every time she had a hotel room? Luna wasn't a careless person. She hadn't had any problems for so many years. I tentatively sent Lucas a message, "Did you do something about Luna? For the company's business?" His reply was simple. Only then did I call my brother. I learned that Daniel was originally going to negotiate several contracts. These were connections his father had made before, and this time it was just a renewal. He thought everything would go smoothly. Unexpectedly, he left halfway through the negotiation. The Lucas family got the biggest deal, and my brother got a share. I hung up the phone, feeling that something was off, but I couldn't quite put my finger on it. Luna's affair was exposed by the media. The stock of Daniel's family showed a downward trend. I thought that if the news of Luna's previous marriage was exposed, the shares of Daniel's family would be worthless. I asked my brother to sell the shares. My brother said he had already sold them. He also said that he would avenge me and told me to work in the company as usual. One day, a bunch of white roses appeared on my desk. "Mizu, someone just sent these." The secretary looked a bit uneasy. "Should I put these flowers in a vase? Or throw them away?" I answered without hesitation. Now the only person who could send me white roses was Daniel. I had only told him that I liked white roses because I thought they represented pure love. The secretary took the roses out. Shortly after, I received a message from Daniel on my phone. "Sophia, did you receive my flowers?" I ignored him. After work he blocked me downstairs in the office building. Truly, it's like birds of a feather flock together. Previously, Luna blocked me like this, and now he's using the same method. In the same coffee shop. "Speak. What do you want from me?" This was 1.5 months after I broke off the engagement with him, and 1 month after he got married. "Sophia, I regret it. I shouldn't have married Luna out of anger with you." Only then did I notice that there were dark circles under his eyes, as if he hadn't slept well for a long time. Maybe it was because Luna needed him every night, and he had to work during the day and attend to her at night, so he was running out of energy. But seeing him looking so drained, I felt inexplicably happy. Seeing me smile, he thought I still had feelings for him. "Let me divorce her and marry you, okay? I'll never have anything to do with her again." I gently tapped the edge of the cup with a small spoon. "Aren't you two good friends? Good friends should be together for a lifetime, just like James and I, who are like good sisters and will be together for a lifetime." Of course, I definitely wouldn't marry my good sister. He opened his mouth. A hint of bitterness at the corner of his mouth. "Can't you stay away from your good sister for my sake?" "No, I think a good sister is more reliable than a man for warming the bed." After saying that I paused. "Besides, she even brought me a cute young guy. He pleases me in bed." Hearing the word bed, Daniel's fingers trembled. It seemed that his wife's demands were so high that even the word bed made his hands shake. I got the idea of teasing him. I was narrow-minded before. The 5 of us could actually live a good life together, and sleep together, which would be lively. He seemed to be humiliated and got up to leave. I clicked my tongue and shook my head. He's so fragile and still wants to win me back, so naive. There's no winning back the wife drama here. There's only a winning back the wife graveyard. So open-minded? Just as I was thinking about how to make Daniel suffer 1,000 deaths in my mind, I heard a voice that made my hair stand on end. Lucas. I put on a fake smile. What a coincidence. Are you waiting for your ex-fiancé to come back? He sat down across from me without being invited. Absolutely not. If I were waiting for him to come back, I'd twist off his head instead. I've known since I was a child that I would have an arranged marriage in this life. And I don't think about anything else now. Watching Daniel suffer, I wish my brother could pick a good man for me. Facts have proved that my parents don't have a good eye. My words successfully made the man across from me laugh. His laughter was low, so as not to disturb the people next door. I heard your brother is choosing a fiancé for you. As he spoke, his fingers gently stroked the watch on his wrist. And then he stared fixedly into my eyes. I didn't dodge either. After all, getting married is a very normal thing. Probably. I trust his taste. My indifferent look seemed to puzzle him. I thought you all wanted a free love relationship. I haven't met anyone who makes my heart flutter yet. From childhood to adulthood, almost none of the so-called free love relationships I've seen have had a perfect ending. The more in love they were at the beginning, the deeper the hurt later. I had a little bit of expectation for Daniel before, but in the end, it was the same outcome. What are your requirements for your future partner? I looked at him suspiciously. He couldn't be planning to introduce his brother to me, could he? His brother likes men. I don't break up couples. He likes men for now. Your standards are really low. My shoulder was patted, and when I turned my head, I saw it was my brother. Brother, why are you here? My brother sat down next to Lucas and sized me up carefully. My sister is so beautiful and sensible. How could I casually find someone for her? Seeing how close the two of them were sitting, I suddenly sensed a conspiracy. Brother, you don't like men. Do you? Like Lucas. As soon as I said this, my usually calm brother spat out the water in his mouth all over the table. I heard that Daniel was looking for you. I was afraid you'd be soft-hearted, so I came over in a hurry. He gave Lucas an apologetic look. Then he came to my side, put his arm around my shoulder, and said, Sister, what do you think of Lucas? He's 188 meters tall, has ABS, a handsome face, and is responsible. He's just 6 years older than you. Thinking of what James told me. To stay away from Lucas, I asked weakly, can we choose someone else? The calm man across from us started coughing non-stop, as if he was choked by coffee. My brother said goodbye to Lucas and dragged me home. In the living room, my brother and I stood facing each other. Actually, I didn't consider Lucas before because I thought he wouldn't fancy you. My brother is still as straightforward as ever. His words were so blunt that I didn't know how to respond, so I just played dumb. He continued. Before, when he went to Switzerland, I thought he was going to pick up his brother. Later, I heard that he had never cared about his brother in all these years. When you asked James to go to the hotel, he locked James in the Lucas family's place and came to you with the room card. And you were actually going to give condoms to Daniel. You asked James to check something for you, and in the end he brought it to you. He was the one who did all the research. After Luna and Daniel got married, every time she had a hotel room, he was the one who had someone take pictures, all to make you happy. Hearing this, my mind suddenly went blank. I don't even know Lucas. Why would he do these things for me? Brother, how do you know all this? The reason I was able to intercept Daniel's family's projects overseas this time was also because Lucas's people told me. He didn't directly answer my question but continued, I'd been in the business world for so many years. Men who only talk but don't act are the most unreliable. The ones who silently help you behind the scenes are the ones you can really rely on. Brother, but I don't even know him. My brother adjusted his glasses and looked at me in a way that was hard to describe. Are you sure you don't remember him? I shook my head like a rattle. When did I ever meet him? Actually, I got his brother drunk and that's how I found out. When James and Henry first got together, he strongly opposed it. Once, when he went to a bar to take Henry away, you were drunk at that time. You hugged him and wouldn't let go, and even molested him. A hazy memory flooded into my mind. We were just 18 years old at that time. James brought his boyfriend to meet me. The three of us drank a lot. Suddenly, a man came in and wanted to take James's boyfriend away. I jumped directly onto that person. Little brother, you're so good looking. How could someone as good looking as you separate to people in love? Ignoring the other person's reaction, I hugged his head and started kissing him. Love is so beautiful. Don't you have a partner? Please let them go. I tried to seduce him to keep him from taking James's boyfriend away. I really went all out for my male best friend. In the end, that person left with a dark face and didn't take James's boyfriend. I was so drunk at that time. They were also drunk and passed out. I just thought it was an illusion. I never thought it was real, and even more didn't expect that person was actually Lucas, the head of the Lucas family. Seeing my face gradually lose color, my brother probably guessed that this had really happened. I was drunk at that time. Brother. You know, James is like a sister to me. I couldn't bear to see him in pain. At that time, although James and his boyfriend were drunk, they still held on tightly to each other. I got engaged to Lucas. My brother gave me to irresistible reasons. This man is the most reliable one he's ever seen. I took his first kiss. So I should be responsible. He also used to want me to have a free love relationship. But my experience since childhood has made me believe that in this world, wealth is more reassuring. A man may betray, but wealth won't. When the news spread, James couldn't stay calm. He invited me to the bar where we often hung out. Sophia, choose someone else. He has a poker face. How will you live with him in the future? If he bullies you, I can't even beat him. He was like an old mother worried about her child being wronged. I told him what had happened before. It's all my fault, sister. He cried like a child. My brother is a good person. He's responsible and reliable. You should be happy if you marry him. Henry's words made James's sobs stop. He rubbed Henry's face. Were you threatened? Blink if you were threatened. I rubbed my temples helplessly. You're almost rubbing his face off. How can he blink? James let go of his hand and blew gently on Henry's red face. Henry, it's my fault. He was full of heartache. I turned my face away, unable to watch. My brother is only strict with me. He will be good to Sophia, Henry said seriously. James let out a long sigh. I knew he was blaming himself. If it weren't for him, I probably wouldn't have all these things happen. Come on, this is the most profitable man in the whole capital. I won't have to worry about money for the rest of my life. I slapped James hard on the back of his head. In the past, when the three of us were together, he was the only one who loved to cry. Now that he has a boyfriend, he's still the one who cries the most. After seeing James and Henry off, I met Daniel. He was alone. His clothes were a bit messy. His hair, which used to be neatly groomed, was now greasy, as if he hadn't washed it for a few days. Sophia, I heard you're going to marry Lucas next month. He tried to grab me, but retracted his hand in midair. There was a red lipstick mark on his sleeve. Daniel, you're quite busy. I sneered. You should at least change your clothes. Are you trying to show off your love in front of me? I fanned my nose with my hand and took 2 steps back in disgust. The perfume smell on your wife is too pungent. He hid his arms behind his back, and the smile on his face gradually faded. As if suddenly realizing that his expression was inappropriate, he put on a smiling face again. Looking at him, I suddenly felt like laughing. And I did laugh out loud. Seeing me laughing brightly, it took him a while to say, "Are you really going to marry Lucas? He's a deep and unpredictable person. You can't handle him." He said it seriously. And I laughed again. Then I walked around him and headed outside. Sophia, Lucas is really not someone you can control. He's clear-headed, decisive, and ruthless. You won't even know how you'll die then. I didn't reply to him and left the bar without looking back. Men can never be controlled by women. It all depends on whether a man can control his own lust. I've never seen a man who is truly obedient and loyal to a woman just because of her control. My wedding with Lucas was being prepared as scheduled. In the rich second-generation group, there was more and more drama about Daniel and Luna. Daniel went to the hotel to catch his wife cheating, and then got into a fight with his friend. While Daniel was fighting with his friend, Luna went to another hotel and opened a room with another friend. When the two were fighting fiercely, they heard that Luna had gone to another hotel. Daniel rushed to the new hotel again. The hotel became lively once more. Everyone originally thought that Daniel would file for divorce, but unexpectedly, in the lead video, Luna was the one who proposed divorce. If you can't tolerate my friends, then we should divorce. The people who had placed bets in the group wailed. Everyone proposed to bet on who would file for divorce between the two of them. I bet that Luna would be the one. Most people bet on Daniel. Who could tolerate their wife sleeping with someone else every day? Why was I sure that Daniel wouldn't file for divorce? From the way he handled the relationship among me, Luna, and him, I knew he was a coward. He came to me saying he wanted to divorce Luna. Yet he was busy catching her cheating all day long. People who truly want a divorce wouldn't be so occupied with catching their spouse in the act. I won this bet and earned 500,000 yuan. Subsequently, I received a message from Daniel. How did you think I wouldn't file for divorce? As long as you promise me, I'll divorce Luna immediately. Thank you, Daniel, for making me earn 500,000 yuan. I hope you can keep it up and let me earn another million. After saying that, I blocked him. This guy is out of his mind. He actually thought I wanted to be with him. Then my phone received a call from an unknown number. I originally wanted to hang up, but then I thought better of it. Sophia, don't hang up. I'll tell you the reason. Luna is sick and she needs men. I was just trying to help her before. But I can't divorce her now. If I do, it will affect the stock price. He said all these words in one breath. I hung up the phone and blocked him. I'm glad I found out early. Otherwise, my husband would have been someone else's cure for the rest of his life. If I found out later and didn't agree, I'd be accused of being not generous or kind-hearted enough, and of disregarding someone's life. I got married to Lucas. On the wedding day, I didn't feel much excitement. Apart from feeling a bit awkward when I thought about forcefully kissing him back then, everything else was fine. When the master of ceremonies asked Lucas, "Groom, do you promise to abide by the marriage vows from now on? Whether in poverty or wealth, in sickness or health, in beauty or plainness, in success or frustration? Will you love her, comfort her, respect her, and protect her? And will you be faithful to her throughout your life?" Hearing this, I felt a bit dazed. Would he sincerely answer I do? Was this a necessary part of the ceremony? After Lucas firmly replied I do God, I heard the same vows addressed to me. I looked at him, feeling a bit in a trance. His deep eyes were focused on me, and I clearly saw that at this moment, I was the only one in his eyes. I do. If he would never let me down in this life, and also abide by the vows. He hugged me, and this time it was his initiative. I blushed deeply. It was a long while before he let go of me. I turned my head to look at the audience and saw Daniel looking at the stage with blood-red eyes, as if I had betrayed him. Next to him sat Luna, as calm as a chrysanthemum. After the wedding, Luna came to me alone. "I'm leaving." Her gaze looked into the distance, as if she was reminiscing about the distant past. "I'm married abroad. He's excellent, so excellent that I was willing to control my illness. Unfortunately, he likes men. I'm crazy." She stroked my wedding dress, her eyes full of envy. I had hoped to get married to him. Unfortunately, he didn't give me that. Instead, he gave a romantic wedding to another man. These words, without any context, suddenly gave me a premonition. Did he come to you? That man needed a wife. Luna, who loved him desperately, was the most suitable, I'll go back tomorrow and continue to be his wife. He said I can sleep with anyone except him. There was endless desolation in her voice. I think I'll never understand love in this life. At least, I can't understand this kind of love. Before, I felt guilty for stealing your groom. But today, seeing that your groom has eyes only for you, I'm relieved. I wanted a wedding. And Daniel could give me that. Does he have eyes only for me? I was a bit confused. Yes, love can't be hidden. I wish you happiness. After getting married, I finally understood the love they talked about regarding Lucas. In the newly wedded villa, from the decoration to the small items, everything was exactly to my taste. The flowers and plants in the yard were all the varieties and in the forms that I liked. Even the swimming pool was designed according to the plan I made in college. Its unique design was one of a kind in the world. I didn't feel the horror of being spied on, but rather the warmth of being cared for. When James and Henry came, they were stunned. Sophia, has Lucas been planning this for a long time? He looked around the villa, including the front and backyards. Finally, he concluded that Lucas was the ultimate love-struck person. Thanks to you, my good friend. Otherwise, I wouldn't have had the chance to meet such a love-struck man. If it weren't for Daniel's female friend, I wouldn't have had the opportunity to meet him again. Thinking of the past, I felt mixed emotions. My previous eagerness to get revenge on the scumbag and the scheming woman wasn't as strong anymore. After getting married, I still worked in my family's company. Lucas would come to pick me up downstairs at the company without fail every day. He didn't have any evening entertainment and never stayed out overnight. He was completely different from the person who used to live in the company. The employees of the Lucas Group all praised me as a kind-hearted goddess. Finally, I tamed the workaholic president. I ended their miserable life of having to work overtime until very late every day. Some people put a photo of me and Lucas in a conspicuous place in the department, praying that our love would last forever and that the president's love-struck state would never be cured. The next time I heard news about Daniel was 2 years later. He went abroad to find Luna and asked her why she had abandoned him. He had betrayed me for her. He could have been happy with me. He didn't dare to mess with Lucas, so he could only go to find Luna. As a result, Luna's husband showed up and took out their marriage certificate. He threatened to sue Daniel for bigamy. Daniel lost both me and Luna and was in a state of despair all day long. All the rich second generation in the capital knew about Daniel's messy affairs, and no girl was willing to have an arranged marriage with him. My brother and Lucas had been suppressing Daniel's family. Daniel's family could no longer sustain their business. Finally, Daniel's father brought back his illegitimate son and arranged an arranged marriage with a girl from a less prominent family. Since then, Daniel was removed from the Daniel family. He became penniless. He got drunk every day. One day, after drinking too much, he lay on the road and was run over by a car. A once brilliant person just faded away like this. Lucas said that when Luna learned of Daniel's death, she suffered from severe depression and now lies on medication every day.